What is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Welcome back to the channel. Should you buy the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 in the year of 2020? Now, what's really interesting about the Note 9 is that it's so feature packed and the prices have come way down. I mean, a very well-rounded product right here. And not only that, it has been getting updates to the One UI 2.0, giving this phone definitely more life in it. So if we hit software update, I just updated to the January beta update of the Android 2.0 for this device, January 6, 2020. So yeah, I'm on the latest software right now, and you could just see the new Android 10 gestures making the One UI here for the Note 9 even better looking than ever before. And what's really nice about this new software is you got some great enhancements to digital well-being over prior editions, just a little bit cleaner, and the features are just really nice, like the work time, the me time, the wind down. So yeah, there's a lot going on here for Note 9, especially the new animations really do feel that. But talking about the price points, if you're to get a Note 9 right now, you're probably looking at around somewhere in the ballpark of $300 to $400. But if you know where to look, you might even get this phone cheaper than that right now. And that is a far cry away from the original starting price of this device at over $1,000. So the Note 9 is a top tier device at no longer top tier prices. You can see that right there, $379 for Note 9. So it just really depends on where you look. But a lot of people are trying to get rid of these as they want the newer Samsung phone. But somebody's past phone might be your new treasure. So let's talk about the look and the build of this device. Well, the Note 9 decided to not go away from the bezels, but it also decided to not embrace the notch. So a lot of people did love the Galaxy Note 9 for having no notch on it and giving you really a full screen experience with some small bezels at the top and the bottom. Yes, they're not so small compared to 2019 phones, but they're still not unbearable. There's still phones that launch with bigger bezels than this. Even the Galaxy Fold on the front has bigger bezels than the Note 9. So overall, I gotta say that the look and the design of this phone is functional, it's practical, it looks like a business phone, it looks like a work phone. It's a really good, practical, large smartphone. Let's talk about software, just quickly brushing over it. Yes, it's not easy to just brush over this software, but we're gonna go through it as fast as possible. We have tons of advanced features, including the S Pen series that brings things like write on calendar here in the One UI 2.0. You can also take pictures with that S Pen. And of course, you know that you can write notes. Of course, it's a Samsung Galaxy Note. Of course, you should be able to write notes on this phone. It makes it extremely productive if you will take a use of this S Pen. If you leave it in the phone and you never use it, then just get an S series device. But the software itself, very smooth here. I love this One UI 2.0 for the Note 9, and it does have a Snapdragon 845, which is only a couple-year-old processor. It's not that slow whatsoever. 8 gigs of RAM, very fast USB onboard storage. In addition to that, you can get this with up to 512 gigs of storage. So yes, the Note 9 is a cheaper monster right now. It's a beast of a smartphone, and before you say, Nick, bro, you better give me that wallpaper right there. I'm not playing with you today. Well, I'm not playing with you either. Link down below to Twitter for this wallpaper if you do feel it. Comes from a cool app called Backdrops. Not sponsored, but if you want to get some cool wallpapers, check out that application. I really can't find it. It's right there, Backdrop. So yeah, that's where I got that from. Anyway, moving on to the phone's battery performance. I discussed it a little bit earlier, how it's one of the best in the industry when it came out. And it still does do this. I'm looking for device care, going too fast there. You can see device care looks a lot cleaner here in One UI 2.0. And I gotta say that the battery life, man, one of the most impressive phones ever on battery. A lot of Samsungs that came out after this also have great battery life, but this was one of the first, and it still has that excellent battery life. In addition, with that really sharp screen on here, you can go ahead and change it and tweak it down to something a little less high res if you do want to get even better battery life. So take this WQHD down to full HD. You should get even longer juice out of this phone. I want to mention also that the display functionality on this phone is pretty awesome. The blue light filter, sunrise to sunset, dark mode is here. Also, the adaptive display modes can be tweaked here in a One UI 2.0. They got a little bit of a better graphic here. AMOLED cinema, photo, and basic mode. So yeah, not only do you have a beautiful display with no notch, but you do have a display that allows you to tweak it basically however you want. If you don't want it too saturated, throw it in basic. If you don't want it too vibrant, then maybe put it in cinema mode if you still want a little bit of vibrance. And when you put it in dark mode, because it's an OLED screen, it's extremely dark. So it's an actual dark mode. It's not some gray color, it's dark. And that brings me on to the camera. This was tweaked a little bit here. You can see looking for more modes, and then it'll tell you to swipe right over to more. It's a little bit tweaked. It looks a little bit different here in Android 10 for the Galaxy Note 9, but night mode's there, pro mode's there, panoramic, food. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. Wide selfie modes, which has been great for the Galaxy Note 9. Although I don't really like the results of the selfie camera on this phone. They're a little bit soft for my liking, not as sharp as I would like. There's still some great features with this phone. And I think for the person looking for this phone, weigh your expectations. No, you're not getting a triple camera 2019 camera phone. You're getting a 2018 camera phone here, which is to say still a very good camera. So I took some photos here. You can see plenty of detail. Dynamic range was one of the best things about the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. You could see holds onto the clouds, doesn't really overexpose anything, and on the whole it gives you pretty good detail. I mean, look at the grasshopper here. I think that's a grasshopper. Look at the detail. I got his eyeball in there, and the phone's still holding on to the detail inside the leaf right there behind them. Now, if you also look in the flower, just tons of detail there. Yeah, a little bit soft, like I say. The phone's not the sharpest I've seen, but look at the dynamic range here on this landscape shot. You can see holding on to those clouds, the photo quality is more than acceptable here, as is the video quality for the Galaxy Note 9. Plenty of detail. And I would even say the Note 9 is giving you a better camera than some of the budget Samsung devices. Not all of them, but some of them, it does beat out even those cameras. So you can buy a premium phone on a budget that's a couple years old, or you can buy a newer budget Samsung device. The choice is really yours. Now the audio here, when you put this phone on an angle, and you also will notice it a little bit throughout the day, like when you're outside, if you have this thing open, the sun, dual speakers. So you're never gonna have to worry about covering it up and not hearing your audio no more. It's got the dual speakers you need. It's got the Dolby Atmos on here for the Samsung. In addition to that, you can use things like the Galaxy Buds, or you can even use, like we talked about earlier, that headphone jack. So nothing really to worry about in audio, but would you worry about the phone call quality, the reception? And absolutely not. With Qualcomm modems in here, you have amazing LTE performance and amazing phone call quality. Not only that, it has some awesome features that allow you to swipe through to make a call. And of course, you could use Bixby to make calls. I wouldn't really use that, but you can also use Google Assistant to make calls. So there's many ways to make a call. And not only do they sound great, but they hold on to reception very well. Okay, so the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, in conclusion right now, you can see that I'm very hyped on this phone still. It's a very good device. There's just not a lot to dislike about this phone. The only thing I would say is that it doesn't look as up to date as some of the newer devices. But other than that, I think for the money you would pay for this right now, if you find this in the threes, this is a banging deal right here. It's an amazing deal for the Galaxy Note 9. It has great cameras, amazing display, amazing battery life. It ticks all the boxes. I mean, good stereo speakers, amazing storage, expandable storage, headphone jack. I mean, you could see why people are raving about this phone. And even some of the newer Samsung phones, I don't think are a better buy than the Note 9 right now. And yeah, some people are going to comment there's better newer phone deals down below in the comment section, and that's okay. Everyone has their own opinion. But if your mind is set on, I want everything that Note 9 can offer, I didn't want to pay $1,000 when it came out. That's just, it wasn't in my range. It is now though. I don't think you'll be disappointed with this if you're planning on keeping it for a year or two. Now, if you're planning on keeping this phone 4 or 5 years, there's probably better options. Anyway, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, drop them down below. Note 9 users, please share your experience with the community because yours might be a little bit different than mine, and that's always welcomed as well. I appreciate you all for checking out the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.